Hello dear students, I hope you are doing well and I hope that you are keeping safe and sound, especially during these hard times. Indeed, the situation is difficult because of this pandemic, not just because of this pandemic, and because of the whole package of problems that came with it. So we hope that it will be over very soon, and I think it will be over soon, inshallah. I know that you, as semester 1 student, might be very much frustrated and confused because of this situation, and also because some of you, if not most of you, are not used to online and distance learning. Okay, so this situation might be very much troubling to you. Some of you don't even know that studies have officially started. Okay, I receive messages and emails from students asking me whether studies have started or not. We started posting lessons and materials and videos on Moodle and other platforms more than a month ago, okay? So please, if you know some classmates, if you know other classmates that haven't yet joined Moodle and haven't yet had a look at what their professors share with them, please let them know and tell them to join Moodle as soon as possible. And if you can, share the materials that you have with them, because sharing is caring, as you know. So please try to share with your friends, okay? Now, this is my third video, and this time I'll be talking about prepositions, right? So as you see here, this is my outline for this video. I will have a short introduction defining prepositions. Then I will talk about the different types of prepositions. After that, we will deal with what we call the prepositional phrase. We will define the prepositional phrase and know what do we mean by a prepositional phrase, okay? Next, we'll be talking about some prepositions that have special uses, okay? So this is all. At the end, I have practice, of course. So as I promised at the beginning, there should always be some practice at the end, because theory alone is not enough. And I'll be posting more materials, more worksheets that you can download from Moodle and work on at home, okay? Now let's get started. What do you mean by prepositions? Prepositions are words that link nouns, pronouns, and phrases to other words in a sentence. Let's take this sentence, for example, okay? As you see, we have the word to here. Now, to links these two phrases together, okay? Pronouns and phrases is linked to other words using the preposition to, okay? So that's the main function of a preposition. It is to link phrases and words together. A preposition is a word that shows the direction, the time, or the location of something. Prepositions of movement and direction, they show the direction. Prepositions of time, they show the time. Prepositions of place and location, they show the location of something. The word or phrase that the preposition introduces is called the object of the preposition. Now, what is the object of the preposition? It is the word or phrase that comes after the preposition. For example, here, to other words, to is the preposition, words is the object of preposition. Now let's take a look at these examples here. Janet put the pen on the desk. Janet put the pen on the desk. So here, on is the preposition, desk is the object of the preposition. Of course, desk is a noun, that's its nature, but in this sentence it serves as the object of the preposition. Robert went with Carol. Carol is a noun, okay? That's the nature of the word. But in this sentence here, it serves as the object of the preposition. Robert went with her. So her is a pronoun, that's the nature of the word, okay? But in this sentence, it serves as the object of the preposition with. With practice, Janet learned to draw. So with is the preposition, practice is the object of the preposition, and of course its nature is a noun. Here, with training, Janet learned to draw. So training, in fact, it is a gerund in nature, but in this sentence it serves as the object of the preposition. So a preposition must have an object that comes after it. Okay, it's very, very important to agree on this right from the beginning. Now, types of prepositions. As you see, we have three types of prepositions. We have prepositions of place and position, prepositions of time, and prepositions of motion and direction. Okay, now let's take a look at the first type. Prepositions of place show where something happens, okay? Where something happens. Look at these examples here. Sam was sitting under the tree. Sam was sitting under the tree. So prepositions of place answer the question where. Where was Sam sitting? Where was Sam sitting? Sam was sitting under the tree. My friend lives in Boston, USA. Where does your friend live? My friend lives in Boston, USA. The goose flew over the house. Where did the goose fly? The goose flew over the house, right? So as I said, the prepositions of place answer the question where. Sarah is hiding inside the wardrobe. Where is Sarah hiding? Sarah is hiding inside the wardrobe, okay? All right, let's look at these illustrations here. We have behind, as you see, the mug is behind the microwave. The mug is between the two desks, between. The mug is in front of the microwave. The mug is next to the table. The mug is under the table. The mug is in the microwave or inside the microwave. The mug is on the table, and the mug is opposite the bookcase, okay? Now, these are the most common prepositions of place that we have, right? And I hope that you will take a look at these illustrations so as to know the use of these prepositions, okay? Now, prepositions of time, they show when something happens, okay? They answer the question when. We said that prepositions of place answer the question where, but prepositions of time answer the question when. Examples: school start at 9 o'clock. School start when? At 9 o'clock. Okay? When does school start? School start at 9 o'clock. So at is a preposition of time. Sarah will celebrate her birthday on Saturday. When will Sarah celebrate her birthday? Sarah will celebrate her birthday on Saturday. You must finish the report by Tuesday. When must you finish the report? You must finish the report by Tuesday. So by is a preposition of time. I visited London during the summer. When did you visit London? I visited London during the summer. So during is a preposition of time. Sam came after she called him. When did Sam come? Sam came after she called him. Okay? Sam came after she called him. Again, I have illustrations here, right? The uses of the prepositions of time. They are illustrated and explained in a very, very clear way. Now, let's take, for example, ago. A certain time in the past. We use it when we talk about a certain time in the past. 2 years ago, 1 month ago, okay? 2 weeks ago. Since. Since we use it when we start from a certain point of time, okay? For example, he has been living in this city since 1980. Now, since we use it when we start an action or we start something from a certain point of time in the past, okay? At night, we don't say in night like in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but we say at night, not in the night, okay? A certain point of time, like at 9:30, at 3:15, etc. So when we tell the time and specify a certain point of time, we use at, okay? For example, when is the film going to start? The film is starting at 7, right? And we also say at the weekend, at the weekend. In, okay? Now in, we use it for months and seasons. Months and seasons. Say in August, in April, in May, in June, in winter, okay? In spring, in fall. Time of the day, in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, but not in the night. We say at night, as we said, okay? Year, in 2006, in 1999, in 2005, in 1945, etc. So when you specify a certain year, you use in with it. In an hour, after a certain period of time here, now after a certain period of time, you say, I'll be back in an hour. I'll finish the homework in 10 minutes, okay? In 10 minutes means after a certain period of time, means after 10 minutes, okay? So these are the cases in which we use in, and of course we have on. On, we use it on days, specific days. We do not say in Monday, we say on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, etc. So we use it with days of the week. So you can stop the video, and consider all these examples that we have here with all the other prepositions of time. Of course, for the sake of brevity, I don't want to make a very, very long video. For the sake of brevity, I'll stop right here, but you can stop the video and consider and examine all of these examples here, okay? Now, prepositions of motion and direction. Prepositions of motion or direction show where something is moving, okay? Not where something is placed, okay? Where something is moving. That's why we call them prepositions of movement or direction. So when we use a preposition of movement, the verb involves a certain action by a certain person or object or whatever that is moving, okay? So that's why we call them prepositions of movement or prepositions of direction. Examples: the ball rolled down the hill. The ball rolled down the hill, okay? The girl was walking her dog along the river bank. The girl was walking her dog along the river bank. The boys chased after the butterfly. Sam was climbing up the hill when he fell and injured his knee. Now, in the situations, in the examples here, there is movement, okay? The ball rolling down, so there is movement of rolling, okay? The girl was walking, so there is movement, walking. Walking where? Walking along the riverbank. The boys chased after the butterfly, okay? So chasing, running after the butterfly, right? Sam was climbing up the hill. Climbing, the verb to climb. So all these verbs involve a certain movement or action by the subject, okay? That's why we use prepositions of movement to indicate where something or someone was moving. Now again, we have illustrations here. So here we have the mouse is moving into the box. Into is a preposition of movement. The mouse is moving into. The mouse is moving out of the box. The cat is turning around the box. The cat is turning around the box. Now, when you have this movement, circular movement, we call it a round, okay? The bird is flying away from the box. The bird is flying away from the box. The birds are flying towards the box, okay? They are flying in the direction of the box, coming towards the box. So we say the birds are flying toward the box. The bird is flying past the box, okay, past the box. The frog is jumping onto the box, okay, jump onto. The box is jumping off the box. The frog is on the box actually, but it is jumping off the box. The frog is jumping over the box, okay? Over the box. The snake is creeping under the wall. The snake is creeping under the wall. The snake is creeping through the pipe, through, okay? Through the pipe, through the tunnel, etc. The snake is creeping across the bridge, across the bridge. The little boy is climbing up the stairs. Climbing, the verb to climb. Climbing up the stairs. The boy is climbing up the stairs. The girl is going down the stairs. Okay? All right. Now, these are prepositions of movement, and as you see, we have this arrow here with all the examples that I showed you. We have the arrow, and this arrow indicates that there is action and movement and direction as well, right? So again, you can stop the video and examine and consider these examples minutely and closely to understand the uses of these prepositions of movement. All right, now we come to prepositional phrase. What is a prepositional phrase? A prepositional phrase is the part of a sentence that contains a preposition, a noun or pronoun, and any words in between, right? It's vague. The definition seems to be vague right now, but I'm going to make it clearer, okay? Of course, we need to have a look at some examples to get what we mean by this definition. Now take a look here. After several minutes, we located the key for the door. After several minutes, we located the key for the door. Now, in this sentence, we have two prepositional phrases, okay? Here, after several minutes, after is the preposition. Minutes is the object of the preposition. And the whole sentence is called a prepositional phrase, okay? A prepositional phrase is the preposition plus the object of preposition plus any words that come between them, right? Now here, for the door, for the door. For is the preposition. The door is the object of preposition. And the is a word, it's an article that comes between the two. So these three words together, we call them a prepositional phrase, okay? All right, again, we have another example here. The flock of tiny swallows flew over the trees near the lake. The flock of tiny swallows flew over the trees near the lake. Now here we have three prepositional phrases. The flock of tiny swallows. Of is the preposition. Swallows is the object of prepositions. Tiny is an adjective that describes these birds, okay, swallows. And the three words together, we call that a prepositional phrase, okay? Over the trees, over the trees. Over is a preposition of movement, okay? The trees is the object of preposition. There is an article. Together, all of these words together, we call it a prepositional phrase. Near the lake, the same thing. Near is a preposition, okay? Preposition of place. There is an article. Lake is a noun, and it is the object of preposition here. And all these words together, we call them a prepositional phrase, okay? So I hope that what I mean by prepositional phrase is clear after considering these examples, okay? So here in this exercise, we are going to identify prepositional phrases in these examples here. Find the prepositional phrase in the sentences below. They sat on the bench for a long time. How many prepositional phrases we have here? Try to think with me, okay? They sat on the bench for a long time. So we have on the bench. On is the preposition of place. There is an article. Bench is the object of preposition. So on the bench, this one here is a prepositional phrase. For a long time, for a long time. It is another prepositional phrase. For a long time. The airplane flew over the village at a low altitude. The airplane flew over the village at a low altitude. So again here, how many prepositional phrases we have and what are they? The airplane flew over the village at a low altitude. So we have over the village, that's a prepositional phrase. The preposition here is over. There is an article, village is the object of preposition, and the three words together make what we call the prepositional phrase. At a low altitude. At is a preposition, okay? Altitude is the object of prepositions, and the words between the preposition and its object together, we call them a prepositional phrase at a low altitude, okay? The old man lives alone in the old cottage. The old man lives alone in the old cottage. So here we have only one prepositional phrase, in the old cottage, okay? So in is a preposition of place, there is an article, old is an adjective, and cottage is the object of preposition. So in the old cottage is a prepositional phrase. Santiago rode deep into the rough sea. Santiago rode deep into the rough sea. So into the rough sea is a prepositional phrase. Into is a preposition of movement, okay, or direction. There is an article, rough is an adjective, and sea is the object of preposition. So into the rough sea is a prepositional phrase, okay? Of course, I'm going to post more exercises like this so that you can identify prepositional phrases, okay, and know what we mean by a prepositional phrase. Now here we have some prepositions with special uses. Some prepositions can be confusing, okay, because they can be used as adverbs as well, right? Now, how are we going to differentiate between an adverb and a preposition in a sentence? Because as I said, some prepositions can be used as adverbs. A preposition, this is the difference. A preposition will always be part of a prepositional phrase. This is very important. I want you to remember this. This is how we are going to distinguish. This is how we are going to differentiate between a preposition and an adverb. A preposition will always be part of a prepositional phrase that I have just explained, okay? A preposition is always part of that phrase, that prepositional phrase. But an adverb can stand alone. An adverb can be alone, right? I mean, it's not necessary to find it within a prepositional phrase. If it is within a prepositional phrase, then it is, I mean, automatically it is a preposition, not an adverb. Examples. They are waiting inside. They are waiting inside. Inside is an adverb here because there is no objects of preposition and there is no prepositional phrase. We have just inside. So in this case, it is an adverb. It's not a preposition. They are waiting inside the waiting room. Here it is a preposition because it is part of a prepositional phrase and because it has the objects of preposition, which is waiting room, okay? Inside the waiting room is a prepositional phrase. Room is the objects of preposition, okay? So inside in this example is a preposition, not an adverb. But in this example, the first example, it is an adverb because it stands alone. It is not part of a prepositional phrase, okay? Another example, we took the dog along. We took the dog along. Okay, so here along is an adverb. Why? Because it stands alone. It is not part of a prepositional phrase. But in the last example, we walked along the river. Along here is a preposition because it is part of a prepositional phrase which is along the river. Okay? Practice. Now look at the examples here and try to determine whether they are adverbs or prepositions, okay? So think with me and try to find out whether they are prepositions or adverbs. Below the water, there are many dangers. Below the water, there are many dangers. So do you think below is an adverb or a preposition here? So in this example, below is a preposition because it is part of a prepositional phrase. Below the water, okay? This is the prepositional phrase, below the water. The water is the object of preposition. The security guard would not allow me through. The security guard would not allow me through. Now through, is it an adverb or a preposition? Yes, it is an adverb because it is not part of a prepositional phrase and because it doesn't have an object, okay, or what we call the objects of the preposition. The soldiers got on the helicopter quickly. The soldiers got on the helicopter quickly. So here, on, is it an adverb or a preposition? Yes, it is a preposition because on the helicopter is a prepositional phrase, so on is a preposition. 4. Janet sent the letter off. It is too late. Off here, is it an adverb or a preposition? Yes, it is an adverb because off stands alone and it is not part of a prepositional phrase. Throughout his life, he was a good man. Throughout his life, he was a good man. So throughout here is a preposition because it is part of a prepositional phrase. Throughout his life. Life is the objects of preposition throughout. Okay? Number 6. The children walked through the shopping mall. The children walked through the shopping mall. So through is a preposition here because it is part of a prepositional phrase which is through the shopping mall. Okay, through the shopping mall. Turn the television on so that we can see the match. On, is it an adverb or a preposition here? It is an adverb, it is not a preposition because it is not part of a prepositional phrase, okay? You can just say turn the television on, right? Without having this addition here so that we can see the match. So we can stop right at on, and in this case, it is an adverb, not a preposition. There was a fight outside Mr. Smith's classroom. There was a fight outside Mr. Smith's classroom. There was what? A fight. Where? Outside Mr. Smith's classroom. So here, outside is a preposition because it answers the question where, and of course because it is part of a prepositional phrase which is outside Mr. Smith's classroom, right? Classroom is the object of preposition outside, and outside Mr. Smith's classroom is a prepositional phrase. The homeless sleep outside. The homeless sleep outside. So outside here is an adverb because it stands alone, okay? Take your keys off the counter. Take your keys off the counter. Off here is a preposition because it is part of a prepositional phrase which is off the counter. Well, so I hope that after considering these exercises, after examining these examples that I've just explained right now, I hope that you come to understand the difference between an adverb and a preposition. This is a takeaway, something to remember, okay? An adverb can stand alone. A preposition must be part of a prepositional phrase and must have the objects of preposition, okay? That's how we differentiate between adverbs and prepositions, okay? Now here we have some prepositions that have the same meaning, okay? Prepositions that have the same meaning, next to or beside. Sometimes we use them interchangeably. You can say somebody is sitting next to the door or beside the door. Near and by, okay? Sarah is selling seashells by the seashore, or Sarah is selling seashells near the seashore. So both of them are the same, and we can use these two prepositions interchangeably. Across from and opposite, right? Across from and opposite. The pharmacy is across from the school, or the pharmacy is opposite the school. So these prepositions here are interchangeable and they mean quite the same thing, right? Some prepositions, although different, can have very close meanings, okay? Some prepositions, although different, can have similar meanings, very close meanings. For example, under and below. Don't assume that they are the same, okay? They are not the same, under and below. Under means lower position, at a lower position. When we say below, it is directly below something, okay? To the extent that the two things touch each other, okay? Above vis-a-vis over. Above, higher position, okay? And we use it only as an adverb of place. Remember, above is used only as an adverb of place. But over, we use it as an adverb of place and as an adverb of movement. And it means extending directly upwards, right? Extending directly upwards something. Among vis-a-vis between. Among, in the middle of three or more people or things, okay? Among, we use it when we talk about something or someone or whatever that is in the middle of three or more people or things, okay? But between, we use it when we talk about something or someone that is in the middle of two people or two things, okay? Just two. It's not like among. Among, when we have more than three things or people. So these prepositions, as I said, they seem like the same, but they are not. I mean, there are very slight differences. You need to be aware of these differences. Now, as practice, I mean, I have this worksheet here. I'll post it to you as a downloadable worksheet so that you can download it and do the exercise at home. Of course, I'm going to send more, not just this. I'm going to send more. So try to join the Moodle classroom so that you can download the materials that I'm posting, okay? All right. Again, if you don't understand anything in this video, let me know so that we can explain more and probably practice more. Why not? All right. So I come to the end of this. I come to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching and take good care. Goodbye.